So as it's near the end of school term, I just thought I'd do this video about how I think one of the saddest times in your life is when you leave senior school. And you know, when you say goodbye to all your friends and you're all kind of going off in different directions, and you know, some of your friends are staying on at sixth form, you know, I went off to college, and you know, some of your friends you don't know what they're doing, and I think it's always quite a sad time in your life because you all go off in different directions. You don't know what path your lives are going to take. You don't know what life's got in store for you. And thankfully I'm still in touch with a lot of my school friends. I didn't particularly like school, I didn't hate it, but it was just something I knew I kind of had to do. And I always think that's just quite a sad point in your life because you don't know what way your life's going to go. Now, for a couple of years my life wasn't great. I trained to be a chef, I absolutely hated it, and it was the biggest mistake I ever bloody made. And you know, I didn't enjoy my first few years in the working world, but thankfully years later I got out of it. And you know, I'd like to think that my life did turn out well because now I'm in a job I love, I changed careers and I'm earning sort of half decent money. But it's just that when you look back, you know, you're sort of pushed out into the world. You don't have a huge amount of life skills. You don't really know much about the world or anything, but that's, you know, something you've got to learn. That's all part of learning and growing up. But I just think, you know, if you had the knowledge and skills you got now, what would you go back and tell yourself? You know, would you have done things different? Because the amount of people I work with or meet that they kind of went to uni, or you know, their parents sort of pushed them into doing law or medicine and they absolutely hated it and they wish they, you know, had the guts to sort of say no. You know, some of them did, they didn't actually use their degrees, they went into different jobs when they left. But it's just funny how things turn out, you know, and the job you want to do when you're 16 or 18 is probably not the job you end up doing in your 20s. Because let's face it, you know, there's so many careers, you know, it's easy to change your mind and, you know, sort of, you know, get bored with something. So, yeah, what would you go back and tell your younger self, guys? And, you know, are you still in touch with your school friend? Let me know. I'd like to hear from you in the comments.